I know last week's video got a little hectic and rustled some feathers, but I want to assure you free videos like the one we're about to dive into and this Monstera guide that I stayed up till 4:30 a.m. last night building. It covers about 30 plus Monsteras. Things like this are not going anywhere. Stick around till the end of the video and I'll address some comments live. I actually haven't taken a look at last week's video. It's all been kind of stressful, but let's get into this Monstera guide I put together. So essentially I went through and I put like 6 different sections of the different types of variegated Monsteras that exist. There's over 30 different Monstera in here and I've named their variegation. I've described their variegation. I sourced a photo and I tried to credit the photo. Big shout out to Mike D'Andrea for all the help. That is at MDA1635, and also to Joshua Miguelcia. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite ones in the guide, and I'm going to link this down below as a source for you to check out prices and kind of see the differences maybe between something like Platinum, Legacy, and Green Snow of the Tycon, and mostly just to look at some pretty plants. So I'll link that down below. Of course, we have the sectoral albos, the marbled. I also go over the differences between large form and smaller form albos and just generally Monstera. Shout out to Monstera X for a great little article on that. You're looking for the stacked nodes. That is the key. I've been mistaken about this in the past. It's a tough lesson to learn. Of course, we have the Aureas, but a lesser known one that I want to stop on and just shout out to the man Kunzo Nishihata. The yellow Maryland is effectively what I understand it to be a large form Aurea. And this plant in the US today for 2024 pricing, about a 3-leaf plant, probably runs in like the 7 to 1500s, maybe 1200 I wrote here. And it gets those inner perforations of being a large form Monstera deliciosa. I'm not sure if the nodes stack on top of each other, having that really small space between, because that's what you want to see. And similarly, looks similar to it. And I got this from Sean at Only Plants' video. This was grown by Mr. Noldy, is the super orange, which effectively that orange really looks like a deep yellow, whereas the Maryland is like a neon green and the Aurea is like neon green, almost lime green. The super orange, like the Orange Princess, has more of like that burnt in yellow orange. Orange is a stretch, I'll say on the name, but good name. And that one's like at least 1500 plus, I would assume. It's very, very rare still in the US. But Mr. Noldy of Indonesia did say he got it in Brazil. Of course, we have the standard Tycons, but we go into the creme brulee. As you can see here, big patches of cream coloring with some mint overlaying. The green snow has more of that flecking across in like a green snow-like constellation pattern. Here I'm actually holding at IAS 2023. I'm sorry to everyone that I missed at 2024. I just couldn't get it together to go to the show. But here I'm holding a creme brulee and a green snow, and you can see them starkly contrast. I'll be honest, that Legacy is looking a whole lot like that green snow. I guess just with like less green in. And maybe it's a good blend between the creme brulee and the green snow. But it's like how the high var Tycons used to come in. And of course we have the Platinum, and I feel like the Platinum is one of the more distinct ones. Deep hunter green base leaves with that flecking of like a silver flecking, but you get that like muted hunter green below, which is such a cool green color to me. I love that with a nice contrast to splash, and that is the Platinum for like $500 to $1,500 bucks. Of course, we have the Tattoo Monstera or the Medusa Monstera, which has those contortions and twists. Not for me, but cool plant nonetheless. You can have those for like $4,000 to $6,000, you know, good deal. Buy now. But if you're trying to grow plants like these, that's what the Grower's Guide's for. It's for commercial businesses that are trying to, frankly, make money off of growing these plants. But we'll get into that later. This is one of my favorites, the Electrolyte. It's so stunning, and it's like a green Tycon. Still pretty expensive, $7,000 to $9,000. And the tricolor constellation. Mike has a beautiful one here. Here's another awesome one I grabbed off of Instagram. And Joshua Miguelcia actually got one of these tricolors. I think he got it from Mike, and he photographed it in a way that really hasn't been done before. And you can just see the beauty of this plant. Shout out to him. He was very helpful in putting together this guide. As I said, this is a searchable guide on our website. Hopefully you can use it and reference it. It's free and there's no ads. It's my little gift to you and my commitment to the free content. Like I lost sleep this week because of I knew there would be pushback from last week's video. And here's another photo of Joshua's tricolor. Again, when you photograph it up close and on that dark background, it just really stands out. And this is Brandith's tricolor. Also almost looks friggin' fake. It's insane. But that's a real plant, I guess. Although he never responds to my DMs, but I tagged him there. Here's a final photo of Joshua's, just a really, really beautiful plant. Maybe that's a picture I should use in the guide because it's a stunning plant. But those are still like $10,000, sometimes called the Monstera Miracle. And I tried to put in the origin there too, and then I described the plant in the variegation as best as possible, included a photo. I did this for 30 plus listings, and I hope it can be just like a reference guide for people that are looking for these really rare plants, and that this can be like a living document that I update periodically. Ideally, I want to create a database slowly. So the Siam Mint, I'm starting to think it comes from the mint and not the Tycon. I said in a previous video, maybe it came from the Tycon, but it still goes for like $3,000 to $6,000. Very expensive, but has that like white monster. It's like an Aurea white monster, effectively, because it gets that all variegated leaf, and then the veins burn in that like deeper green. Very, very pretty plant. Monstera Starlight, the elusive, I don't know, $10,000+ plant. Really unique looking, looks like a Tycon devil monster, I don't know. Quite a beautiful plant. Now we're getting to the mint-like Monstera sports. Of course, we have the full mint. Of course, we have the white monster. The jungleberry, aka the jungle mint or the no ID, sometimes is referred to as the Brazilian form. It gets those really deep inner fenestrations, like they pull in tight. This is Joshua's again. He has some incredible specimens of plants. You can get these for more affordable, maybe 3-leaf for like probably like $1,000 to $2,000. I should probably up this number a little bit, but I did do a Google search with everyone and tried to find sales in recent time for the right size plant. But as opposed to a full mint, you get more of that crossing of that deep hunter green, and then some patches become mint, and again that deep inner wishbone, like rib cage fenestrations, which isn't very Deliciosa like, more of like it's on its way to the Syriana. And that's what, like, there's a spectrum with Monstera, right? And also shout out to Tyler Thrasher. His sport hunting guide had a lot of seed grown sports that people found in the wild, then they describe them, and also the aroid cultivar list. So this is Tyler Thrasher's Thrasher Mint, it's many times called. This plant essentially, from what I could gather, displays almost all the different types of variegation, sometimes a little albo, sometimes a little green on green, a little Aurea, sometimes like it appears to be like a jungle mint. It's quite a awesome plant. And the Bulbasaur, I just talked to Mike about this plant, and he was like, yo, up the price of that plant, because I had it like $8,000 to $12,000. He's like, that's going for like $6,000 a leaf. So I put $12,000 to $18,000 somewhere in there. Apparently this origin is from China, and I guess Yang Lu found this as a seed sport of Deliciosa, and they named it Bulbasaur after the Pokemon Bulbasaur. It kind of looks like a toad appearance. But I'll jump down also to the Viet Trong Sa, which this plant was induced with ethyl methan something, and that Monstera was induced to mutate and create these different colors, and it looks pretty dang close to Bulbasaur. So pretty expensive. This is more of a guess on price. Maybe I should up that a bit more. It is a new plant, and it is an accepted cultivar, I believe, from the Aroid Registry. The infamous Shamrock Shake from Mike. Joshua also has one of these, quite pretty. Here's Joshua's Shamrock Shake. Weird morphology for sure on this one. Kind of looks like Masterpiece-ish, with all like the different layers of that leaf and the twisting shape changes. But here's that one up close that I'm holding in my hand at IAS 2023. I really like that muted green Shamrock Shake color. And then I put in the Monstera Masterpiece. And if you want to get any of these plants, you should check out our sponsor, Palm Street. Palm Street is a really cool live selling app where you can buy and sell different tropical plants and crystals and anything really plant related on their app. And honestly, the prices are better than anywhere I've ever seen. At first, it kind of frustrated me as a seller because the prices are so damn good, but for the buyer, it is just an awesome opportunity to get some really, really rare plants. Use my code down below to get a discount on your first purchase. Here's a big old Monstera mint from a Palm Street seller, Succulents Empire, for $1,500. And it looks like they're selling the entire plant. That's a pretty dang good deal. And under the contorted leaf monsteras, of course, we have the masterpiece, the multi-layered Renaissance painting, Renaissance oil painting. And Mike, I just spoke with him and he said that is around that $5,000 to $6,000 mark. The Silver Sands, a really beautiful plant, kind of similar to me in the patterning, but has that, like the platinum, that deep hunter green base with a flecking of silver. Whereas some of these plants just don't develop. Some of it gets the deep hunter green, but this whole leaf seems to be of that. And Mike describes where he got it. He got it from Chiang Mai show in October 2022. I believe it was seed grown sport. A lot of these are seed grown sports or from tissue culture. The Ocean Mint or the Oceana. Oceana is now an accepted cultivar name from the Aroid Registry. And of course, we have the white lava. This photo is from Rare Plant Fairy, and they do go for like $2,000 to $4,000. Not my favorite plant, I'll be honest, but it sells for a lot of money. And of course, we have the green on green half moons. Here's Joshua's modeled or the kind of marbled green on green. And it's a searchable guide, so Command F or Control F on your keyboard and look for the plant you're looking for. If I haven't got it in there, send me a message somewhere and just let me know or leave a comment in this blog. Of course, we have the Devil Monster. Check out Sean's new video. He actually goes into how this plant supposedly originated from China and was originally named circuit board for like the wiring, kind of laid wire patterns of a circuit board. I don't know how true that story is, but that's what we have so far. Mike could not corroborate that story yet, so we'll stay posted on that one. Here is Sean's video of the origin story of the Devil Monster if you want to go check that out. So to address some things about last week's video, I'm actually looking at the comments for the first time since releasing the video. Last week, I've just been avoiding it, to be honest. The Grower's Secret chapter of Pretty and Green that I'm going to put out specific videos about how we've grown Monstera secretly are for people that are trying to make money from this. And I mean like tens of thousands of dollars. I mean a lot, not just one or two propagations. I think for $15, it's a good deal if you sell $1,000 of plants a year, because you can probably up that to 2,000 or 3,000 pretty easily. So I think it's a good investment, but it's for those people in commercial growing and not just for like small growers. Eventually, all of this information will get out to everyone, but I've spent a lot of money creating these techniques. And I think this is one of the better, like more critical comments. She always, I don't know, or whoever this person is, they always critique me very thoughtfully. She says she's not a fan of gatekeeping those secrets that are readily available elsewhere. That's where I push back on, because these aren't readily available elsewhere. Here you goes another critical comment. Of course, I'm addressing the critical comments. Charging people is a bit odd, but to each their own. Never needed half this stuff to root and prop Monstera of any of the plants. Right, but I've tried all the methods that are out on YouTube, and actually scientifically, and the method that I'm giving people is a very sound one, and one that we've came up with ourselves. So it does lean on other technologies, but it's a system developed by us. Someone says it's giving professional weed grower energy, and you caught me. That is what I used to do in a previous life about 10 to 15 years ago. Yeah, I started with plants, growing plants hydroponically in the California medical marijuana days. In the early on days, we used to grow really high quality CBD and high THC plants for, I had a few cancer patients and a few people we would grow the cannabis for. And so, yeah, that is where I learned how to grow a lot of these plants. But no, we are not closing Pretty and Green. This channel and the content you're seeing here, nothing is changing here. We do have things changing to the business side of like our plant growing operations, and we'll talk about that soon. But I hope this guide answers some of your questions about different monsteras you might be into, and I hope more than anything, it's like my gift to y'all. Like, please trust that I'm not just trying to like get in here and do a money grab. Like, I really care about this community and I care about providing it with free content. I'm a big fan of open source content, but I'm also a fan of getting paid for the work you do. You get paid for your job, whatever that might be. And this is my job, to create content, to sell plants, and to make videos and learn about the industry. So this guide alone took me about 12 hours of work, and this video is going to take me another 3 to 4 hours to make. So it is simply my gift to you and my commitment to y'all. I hope that makes sense. And I really appreciate you guys watching all the way through to here. If you did, thank you so, so much. And Pretty and Green will be with you guys forever. We are here to stay. Thank you, and we will see you in the next one.